Okay, and I believe that this group who has picked the favorite brand is ready to present.
Ready.
Okay. Well, we'll start off with this group who has picked the favorite brand. Talking.
The boy.
So our gym's favorite brand is Shinkansen. Shinkansen is number one transportation mobiles. Yeah. So Shinkansen is very punctual and comfortable. It's very safe compared to other countries' trains. And our target is people who live in other countries. So in the future, Olympic will have in Japan. So Shinkansen can take people to various places such as Kanazawa and Sendai, Tokyo, Kyoto and Osaka and so on. So it can take one day trip. So it's very fast transportation. So our concept is Shinkansen gives endless option for your unforgettable trip in Japan. So unforgettable means it's very comfortable. It's very quiet, not noisy, and so you can enjoy trip by using a Shinkansen. And any other photos?
Okay.
Shinkansen is a kind of Japanese icon. So Shinkansen is not just a transportation, like a daily exhausting commuting. Yeah. So foreigner, I'm sure foreigner can enjoy the trip, including riding in the Shinkansen. Yeah. The experience of using the Shinkansen will be a forgettable memory for them.
Okay. So what's as I understand it, cultural tension, so to speak, is that other countries need good train, good, fast, comfortable train. And Shinkansen is the solution in a sense of it is safe, fast, and comfortable, and unforgettable, and brings you unforgettable memory. So let's see, how shall we, the world would be better if, in that sense, how should we describe it?
If Shinkansen is in the world, the Shinkansen is available in the world.
Oh, okay. So the world would be a better place if Shinkansen is available everywhere in the world, because that offers you unforgettable journey, safe, fast, and gives you this incredible memory. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, great, thank you. This is the self-branding group, and the person who was picked to be yeah.
Okay, I'll explain the background. Alright, so we choose a topic about self-branding, and with one person who has the closest birthday for today. His name is Yoshitaka. He is a 28-year-old male living in Abiko. He's a civil servant in Kashiwashi. Right? So, guess what his nickname is? What's your nickname?
My name is Yoshitaka. I'm called Natto. So, because my favorite food is fermented soybeans, and my family name is Kono. It is also in Chinese character with a Kono. This character is with the word natto, and these two reasons. My nickname is Natto.
All right, cool. So the cultural tension we thought about around natto. It is really hard to taste, smell, stuff like that. The second thing is quality assurance when it's exported. Well, if it's not in Japan, it's hard to get in Tennessee, for example. Not that because I'm from Tennessee. The third one, is it on? It's people don't think the benefit of natto by just watching it.
Yeah. It
this
looks
is-
pretty weird.
It is weird, yes. But so what's your experience? Great experience eating natto, Jose?
Really good.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, okay. So,
You can talk about your
natto can be used for many cooking. For example, curry and rice with natto, and spaghetti with natto, and toast natto on toast, and so on. So many varieties of cooking ways. And second is natto is we can buy natto very cheap, reasonable, very low price,
Yeah.
and very easy to buy. And the final is natto is healthy food.
Okay.
So
So basically, he's really having fun with natto in his life. So the big ideal
Yes.
for our team is Brand Natto-san. Mr. Natto believes the world will be a better place if all the people in the world eat natto.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Did you get that? Kono-san, who is called Natto Man. And but the natto has a lot of sort of bad connotation. It looks weird. It doesn't. It's what? It doesn't look great. It looks.
Stinky.
Yeah. It doesn't taste good for the first try.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's a weird thing. You know, if you hear that some people like natto, you feel, this person is not cool. Right? I think that's the kind of thing that you get an impression. However, natto has a lot of good things as well, such as nutrition, and such as inexpensive, and such as something else.
so
Healthy.
Oh, healthy. Yeah.
and many cooking ways.
Oh, okay. There are many ways that you can cook natto in. I heard there is natto omelette too. Yeah, and pasta and all sorts of things. And I know natto is very good for women in particular.
Why?
Because it's very high in protein and daiju. So I know quite a few people eat natto in the morning.
We had natto this morning.
Oh, okay. So, the world would be a better place if Natto Man is what?
What?
Yeah, the world is the last one.
They
Oh, they all love natto.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what it is, and he is the ambassador and endorsement for natto. I think that's what it is, right? Okay, great. Thank you.
So we are favorite brand team. So we went for Sony, the company which I worked for more than 10 years. Now I quit it. So we kind of come up with a sentence that brand Sony believes the world would be a better place if people enjoy themselves with experience they never had.
Okay.
So the reason why is that if you come up with things Sony created, innovated, like Walkman, as many people know, CD player itself, CD format itself, also PlayStation, Handycam, Aibo, the dog robot, and then also like Sony Music, Sony Picture, like culture itself as well. So if we can make the world better with new experience, with innovation or creating new culture, like through the movies or new music, then this is the core part which only Sony can do compared with like Apple or Samsung. So we want to have this concept, so to promote Sony.
Okay.
Hi.
What's the cultural tension?
Cultural tension. In this table,
Yeah.
we thought that we saw like in Japan, we kind of losing our pride compared with a few decades ago. So like 20, 30 years ago, everybody said like, okay, Japan #1. So US was struggling. But now the situation changed. Korea and US kind of enjoying in the prosperity, but now not Japan. So kind of we need to have iconic brand.
Yes.
Can be Sony or can be Toyota or can be new companies like I don't know like Line. Can be anyone, but Sony can be possibly the one which the brand which can be proud of. Japanese can be proud of. So this is
Because you can have a different experience, new experience.
new experience.
Yeah. That's the catch.
Yeah.
With Sony, the world would be a better place because people can have a new experience, and that's what Sony stands for.
Yes.
And in particular, the fact that it is a Japanese brand has an additional value because Japan has lost its sort of position, relative position, and people seem to be losing their innovative sort of capacity.
Yeah.
So that's the culture. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Who else?
As we got the Excrescence's permission, we didn't follow the framework. So we freely discussed about the Olga. So first thing we discussed was that how we should interpret this Ogilvy belief, and I think this sounds really great, and we try to understand what this really means. And I think the key word of this belief is inner greatness. And so our interpretation is like this. So if I take an example of automotive. So let's say, for example, let's say I like BMW because of the exterior design and the interior, but the design of a car will change year by year. So maybe next year I may dislike BMW. However, if I'm a fan of a founder of BMW, I don't know who that is. However, if we feel the founder's passion, and that's why I like BMW, so that I can continue loving BMW for longer term. So maybe I think that's what inner greatness means. It's just an example, but that's our interpretation. So so this belief, the inner greatness can touch human heart, so that it enables a brand to be a sustainable, to obtain a sustainable brand loyalty. So that's why we feel this sentence really strong. And so then we discuss about how we can promote this concept to the society much more lively. And as a result, also, of course, Ogilvy should be much more successful. And so we listed out a couple of measures. So for example, if we should promote to NGO or school-related organization, I think this could work more effectively. And also we may think about the Ogilvy ad hour, the inner greatness. So which advertising is realizing this concept? So we may have to have this kind of hour. And also, of course, the Ogilvy continues to produce as many great ads as possible, so that people, it can change the people perception. And also, we discussed about the Dentsu and Hakuhodo, but definitely Ogilvy should not rely on the TV ads. So they should leverage much more different channels, and especially the digital channels, so that they can easily access to the consumer. So that's what we discussed.
Can you tell us a little bit more specifically about NGO kind of things? You said those are the good ones.
Yes.
Just to get an idea. I think that's a very interesting idea, but it's still sort of, okay, NGO. Anything in particular that you discussed?
Actually, the person who raised this, I've already get it.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Our strategy is gone.
So probably we should get him or her back. Yeah, okay. And ask. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's go to the other group which did the overview and see what they came up with.
So since we had many people and we didn't know much about Ogilvy and Mazer, we divided the team into 3 groups. One is employee, one is for clients, and one is for the individual customers. And as for my team, we thought about the employees. It's important to know about Ogilvy Mazer's message out these themes. And we had a lot of help from, sorry, I don't know your
David,
and we had some help from Yoko Sensei. And when we think about the inner greatness, it's something that's within you, your strengths, and you have to come out. And David tried to explain lots about what the goodness of the Ogilvy Mazer, which means that to love someone, you have to love yourself. So if we are able to make a very, the employee itself to have a very confident energy, then they will be able to also make some messages to other clients and customers. So I think, there's not a concrete idea yet, but the first step is to have the employee to be very confident about belonging to Ogilvy Mazer, and that the company is also strengthening each employee's good strength.
Okay, I see. Does a quick question to the people from Ogilvy? Does your employee understand what this is all about? I mean, if you ask, employee of Ogilvy and Mazer, would they be able to sort of explain what it is in specific terms? I think it's quite important. And not too many companies, if you ask the employees, they can talk about the vision or strategy. You may get totally different answers from everybody. So, and I don't think it's something unusual, particularly so because your concept is quite difficult to understand, to grasp. And it's very conceptual. So what does it mean, in specific terms or specific activities? that kind of thing. So that, I think it's very interesting that you focus on the employees as one of the key stakeholders to start with. Okay, the second group.
Well, we haven't really had any mutual agreement on this, but actually, like David mentioned a very interesting words. He said like everyone is superhero in some way. So what we, the company, do is to try to find out that superhero part of client. So I guess like if that superhero part is found, so like it would be, you know, your world would be better place. Like if that part is found out by us and let up a little bit, promote it, so that people's gonna know you. So I don't know, you may probably get more sales or.
Okay, so let me see if I understand it. So you're trying to figure out what makes the client superhero. Is that what it is?
Well, like there's like every product has something that
Right.
might be better than.
Yeah,
Better-
there's something unique, guys. You know.
That's where this company is going to find out.
Okay, okay. And that's what the inner greatness is all about.
Yes.
Okay,
And if
Okay.
that inner greatness is found, maybe your work.
okay, okay. Gotcha. What's the cultural tension?
What's the cultural tension? Thank you.
It's difficult question, but from my perspective, the tension is the strong brand, strong conventional brand like Dentsu and Hakuhodo. Clients does not know the difference between Dentsu and Ogilvy and Mason. So this is the tension. So how they have Ogilvy Mason explain the concept to client. So from my opinion, I think this is the difference between Dentsu and Ogilvy Mason. Dentsu is like a media agent, but Ogilvy Mason is change agent.
Okay. So I think what you're saying as a cultural tension around Ogilvy and Mather is that Ogilvy and Mather is sort of buried in this ad agency business. It doesn't have any uniqueness. And it's just kind of buried in a sense that nobody knows. I mean, the fact that nobody really knows what Ogilvy and Mather stand for is just one example of that. But Ogilvy and Mather will bring out something unique about any client. And that's what we stand for. I think that's more or less what it is. Hope. Okay, other groups? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. We picked up the two favorite brands and talking about that. And the first one is TED. TED is a non-profit organization for providing ideas for spreading, and I'm a organizer of Text Tokyo as a operation review. And for cultural tension, there's a lots of issues and problems around the world, and something like war and disease or hate, ignorance, and something like that. And the brand's best self is everyone can access to the great ideas. That's the brand's best self, I think. And the message, the brand believes the world would be a better place if we could build a community with inspiring people to run each other and igniting ideas.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Okay, great. The second one?
The second idea is about Ghibli. Everyone knows about Ghibli.
Who doesn't know?
Who doesn't know Ghibli?
Good, good.
Okay. Brand Ghibli believes the world would be a better place if it will be ma of ourselves. I'm so sorry that I couldn't come out like how should I say ma in English? But it means about space, empty time between the information.
Okay.
So the cultural tension is these days our world is very crowded by information and fighting and ignoring each other and forget to think like deeply about something. And the brand itself is when we watch Ghibli works, it feels like nostalgic, like Japanese culture, and like fighting with people and nature, good communities, and like Japanese. It doesn't say always everything. Yeah. So the Ghibli will be the space to think about some deeply problems like Japanese cultures. So think everything about we have from very long time ago. So it will be a month of ourselves.
Okay.
Thank you.
So in the busy and fast-paced world where everything has been said, Ghibli, the world would be a better place if Ghibli gives you the space that you can be yourself and you can think deeply. That's what it is. Okay. Very nice. I think that's it. Very good.
Our group is to pick out their favorite blonde, and since our group is organized just women, and we chose Chanel because we all love Chanel. And at first, we talking about what is a blonde equity, what is the best blonde best style for Chanel. And basically, we have we popped out lots of images of Chanel, but the key word is this one, classic and modern. Because as you know, Chanel is the origin of the independence of women. Beginning of 19th century, Coco Chanel released the woman from their kind of strict corset. So we know this story, and this one is the best images of Chanel. And on the other part, what is our situation, especially for Japanese women? It's basically we're still under the pressure of to be put in just like a woman, to be put in like traditional, and sometimes work step back from the man. Yeah, still we have the kind of pressure. So our problem is that feel kind of their difficulty to have their confidence with keeping the femininity. Sometimes we have to be the kind of pretend to be like a man, but this is not our intention. We want to keep both. We want to be proactive, yet with keeping that femininity. So we think Chanel can solve this problem. So brand Chanel believe the world better place if we can pretend we can have their confidence to try something with keeping the femininity. This is our
Okay, great. So that's stand for classic and modern kind of things. The combination. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So did we cover everybody? I hope so. I think we have. I'm very impressed because this is such a difficult task, I think, and it's a very difficult concept. Try to come up with this great idea. And I thought I was a little bit worried when we started because you seem to have struggled, but I think after all it was a very interesting exercise. And it was too bad that we just did one group did the self-branding, but you can try to apply this concept to yourself and figure out how you would write that message down below. What's the culture tension? What's the best of your brand? So I think that concludes our session today. And I would like to thank all of you. And I also would like to thank the people at Ogilvy & Mather to offer us this opportunity to get to know you. And I hope, I'm pretty sure that every one of you who are here will remember Ogilvy & Mather. And if somebody asks you what Ogilvy & Mather is, then you should be able to respond with a very strong confidence and with a strong conviction. So I think that in itself would have been a very good benefit of that. Last but not least, we had such a big group today, and that makes the operation a little bit confusing, and we didn't have enough tables and so forth. But we are trying to get some repeat customers for Davos Experience in Tokyo. And some of you do have this card. If you come to Davos Experience in Tokyo 5 times, you are invited to Yoko's bar. And I know at least 2 people here, probably 3, who have been here more than 5 times. And you'll be invited, but in order to do that, you need this card and a stamp every time you come. And if you collect 5, then you will be automatically invited to Yoko's bar, wherever that is. That's a big secret. Okay? So I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. And so that concludes our session. And probably, Aki, you might want to say a few words.
Well, first of all, Chikura-san, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity, and for participants today. I'm very grateful that you have, for the last 2 hours, you tried to solve the problem that we haven't solved for the last 20 years. We celebrate 20th anniversaries in Japan. We are still, to be quite honest with you, try to, the position ourselves in the very competitive way. So thank you for your challenge and the rate to try to help us on this. And I hope what you did for the last 2 hours will help you to think about the brand strategically moving forward, whatever the other brand you might be dealing with. So thank you very much, and thank you for the process. Thank you.
Who have helped us trying to figure out this one. It's time to hit the drinks and food.